Hello everybody, welcome to another video here. So, I recently changed the setup here. You guys probably can't tell. Trust me, I'm a lot more comfortable now. I'm sitting in a chair. I'm kind of off to the side instead of out sprawled out in the middle of the room, so it's a lot better. So even though you guys can't tell, I'm a lot more comfortable now. But all that aside, today I wanted to talk about video games. Seeing as how video games are pretty important in my life, I'm kind of surprised that I haven't made more video game related videos. But nonetheless, let's do one today. I just wanted to talk about why video games are important to me. Aside from all the obvious, it's fun and it sort of brings you into a community. I think everybody knows that. But there are also a lot of other things that a lot of people who don't consider themselves gamers, or even people who do consider themselves gamers, may not think about. Games to me are important because they kind of teach me things that I might not have learned otherwise. For example, in Metal Gear Solid 3, while a lot of that is based in fiction, a lot of it actually is pretty grounded and based on reality. It takes place during the Cold War, I believe, which I'm not someone who is very interested in history, but playing that game sort of got me a little bit more interested and it taught me a couple things. I don't think I would have learned that otherwise. Or even just like reading, like my reading ability I think is a lot better because of games, because there are a lot of games where they're pretty text heavy. There are words that are used in video games that may not be used in common vernacular, and again, something I might not have learned otherwise. But aside from that, like, even being exposed to music that I wouldn't have otherwise listened to, like I know in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, I believe, or maybe it was 2, I don't know. Whichever one had the awesome soundtrack. Those are songs that I would not have heard otherwise. So it's all thanks to video games that happened. And even my knowledge of like animals and wildlife, again, I can go back to Metal Gear Solid 3. You can like hunt animals in that game, and there are some animals that I didn't know what they were called, or I don't know. I just learned a lot about it, and I'm not a zoologist. I wouldn't have learned that otherwise. And so playing video games I think is a really good way to learn things and not actually have to go deep into like a class or, be in that environment to actually get it. But other than just learning things, video games also keep your mind sharp. Like, there are some puzzle games that are amazingly designed. Like The Witness, for example. That's something that only can happen in a video game. Movies are great, music is great, reading and writing is great, but in a video game, all of those things come together to make an amazing package. And I don't think I would be the person I am today without video games. So I guess I want to urge people who maybe don't consider themselves gamers, but maybe think that gaming is sort of childish or should be brushed to the side or something like that. I want those people to play games because I feel like even if you don't consider yourself a gamer, there's still a game out there for you. Whether it's Candy Crush or something as hardcore as like, World of Warcraft, or even like shooters or something, I think there's a game out there for everybody. A lot of my friends are gamers, so it's kind of rare to come across somebody who hasn't at least played something, but every time I do come across a person like that, I try to expose them to games that I feel like that they would be able to understand. Something like an Until Dawn, which is a super, super important game. Or even something like Journey or Heavy Rain. Games like that, I think that is a good introduction to what video games are. And even, Mario Kart, things like that. I just think that games are not something that should be just taken lightly and should still be considered as an important art form. So, I know a lot of the people who watch my channel are gamers, so this is probably not a very useful video, but to the ones out there who aren't gamers, I urge you to go out and explore, and I guarantee there's a game out there for you. Thank you guys so much for watching, I really appreciate it. I just realized that I hit 280 subscribers, which is nothing really in the grand scheme of things, but when you think of 280 individual people, it's kind of cool that many people actually care about my channel and want to, watch my stupid videos I make, so I appreciate that. Thank you guys. I would like to get to 300 by the end of the year, so as always, subscribing is mutually beneficial. I get more views and you get notified when I put out a new video, so you should do that.